Singapore-linked companies are going big on the health sector in China, despite challenges facing the Chinese economy. They see a wealth of opportunities and are moving fast to bring the Singapore brand of healthcare into the country. Guan explains.
It's another milestone for Singapore-linked companies in China's medical sector. A tie-up between Singapore's Raffles Medical Group and Shanghai's Renji Hospital. The deal will allow Raffles patients to tap the expertise of Renji specialists, while giving Renji the exposure to Raffles' well-heeled clientele across Asia.
The local partner has 180 years of history. They must know China a lot better than us. Currently, they have a few thousand beds. Their public hospital is very big. They have got wealth of talent.
Renji is one of the most renowned public hospitals in Shanghai. It's affiliated to Jiao Tong University and sees over 7 million patients annually. The Renji deal is part of Raffles' continued foray into China despite the country's economic struggle.
So we have noticed that our target segment of patients, they are less affected by this kind of slowdown in the economy because they want to make sure they are healthy. They may not buy another motor car, but when they are not well, they'll be more prepared to spend money to make sure they are well.
To tap that market, Singapore firms have been going big and moving fast in China's medical sector. When China opened up its tertiary hospital sector to full ownership in September 2024, it was a Singapore company, Perennial Holdings, that was the first to get the license. 6 months later, Perennial General Hospital opened its doors in Tianjin.
Our Tianjin project, that actually opened out a lot of opportunity. So quite a number of cities has actually approached us. So since then, we have also given the first foreign wholly owned hospital license in Guangzhou. And we're now looking at doing it in other cities such as Shanghai.
Companies like Raffles and Perennial say they benefit from the Singapore branding.
I think in China, it helps us. Chinese people, they expect us to be, honest, have integrity. And of course, we have to prove that we are trustworthy.
China's tensions with the West also meant a bigger playing field for Singapore-linked firms, even foreign-owned ones like Parkway, currently owned by Malaysian health company IHH.
Take, for example, some of our competitors who were previously formerly linked to very famous hospital, let's say from the United States, the ability to continue to promote that US linked is now becoming less important or less being promoted. And therefore, from our perspective, the ability to be linked to Singapore and promote the clinical service that we are exporting from Singapore into China is actually very, very important.
China's medical sector has its unique challenges, but that opens up opportunities for foreign firms as well. For example, it wasn't a practice to visit a GP clinic for minor ailments, but it creates a gap to be filled.
In the previous days, when sick people go into hospital, they immediately get a drip in the hospital, right? But now this is no longer the case. People are learning fast. They know that this is not always necessary, and therefore they're becoming more accustomed to the use of clinics.
As Chinese exports face a torrent of tariffs from the West, China has been actively trying to promote medical tourism. It's part of its drive to boost consumption within its borders. This gives foreign medical firms like those from Singapore even more opportunities to thrive. Guan, CNA, Shanghai.